welcome back to my channel. Today I am delighted to be doing a collaboration with Jennifer from Justglowfirefly. If you're not familiar with her, Jennifer is fabulous. She is a true Southern belle, gorgeous. Her hair alone, I mean, so jealous, so jealous. She and I bonded over our love for luxury makeup, Tom Ford, Chanel, and of course, our obsessions over the Gucci bronzer. Both of us just cannot get enough. And if you're coming from Jennifer's channel, hi, my name is Jennifer. We also joked about that. I mean, you know, there's how many Jennifers running around the world. You know, if you grew up in the time period that we did, although Jennifer from Justglowfirefly is quite a bit younger than I am, but you know, there was always at least two Jennifers in any classroom. And that's actually one of the reasons Alfeisty, my nickname, came about, because you know, there's always a bunch of Jennifers. If you yell Jennifer across a quad in college, at least 10 people turn around. So nicknames tend to happen. But today we're going to be doing a relatively short video. I think it's going to be fun. I hope it's going to be fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. With fall upon us, and Jennifer's down in North Carolina. I'm here up in Boston. But, you know, fall is definitely on its way. A little bit sooner here for us in Boston than for her down in North Carolina. But you start to get into like deeper shades, at least I do, deeper fragrances, that type of thing. And so we decided to do sort of our top 5 shades, lipstick shades for fall. And I'm actually wearing one of them now. This, by the way, was not easy to do because I have so many different lipsticks where I was like, ooh, this one, ooh, this one. So narrowing it down to 5 was painful. This is a relatively new shade to me. This is the Chantecaille Lip Veil in Tamarind. This came out recently with their new collection, their Safari collection, their Safari 2020 collection. And it's just a beautiful, you can see, it's a beautiful bronzy rose shade. It actually matches up really well with the Chanel Romance eyeliner, which I use as lip liner. And hopefully you guys have seen that video. So I have that on my lips right now. It's a very light lipstick. It's not even a lipstick, it's a lip veil. So it gives you a color, but it's not overpowering. So if you're looking for something just to throw on, you know, you're running around. Now I know in these days of masks, we're not wearing as much lipstick, but you know, that's not gonna last forever. And plus a lot of us are doing Zoom calls, at least I know I'm doing a lot of Zoom calls. So this is a really great, you know, light look, easy to put on. You don't even need, I don't have lip liner on. It works, this shade works on most folks. It's pigmented enough that it's gonna give you a little bit of color, but it's not so pigmented that you have to worry about it like getting all over your face. So that's the first one. Okay, the second, and I'm gonna stick with the lighter texture. Yeah, okay, my brain is sort of with me. And we'll move into the deeper ones. This is the Fenty Beauty, and I never get the name right. Slip, shine, shiny, I don't know. The shiny lipsticks. They look like this. And there's a lot of shades. This one though is my favorite. This is Bubble Rum. And it's similar, I will admit, to the Tamarind, but it's a more browny shade. It has more of a, if you think of rum, like if you think of like dark rum, okay, now I kind of want a cocktail, but a dark rum, that's what it looks like. And that's it on. Like I said, it is a little bit similar to Tamarind. I admit when I'm picking these fall shades, I do go towards sort of bronzy, brown shades. I think they go well with my hair. They just scream fall to me. So that's, you know, probably a lot of what I'm gonna come up with. But again, this is a light, and the name is Sheer Shiny, shoot. I can't remember. I never get it right. Fenty Beauty, Shiny Sheer, something lipsticks. Anyway, they are sheer. They are not full of a ton of pigment. They actually, these probably have, this particular shade is probably one of the most pigmented ones. There's like an orange shade that's really pigmented as well. This has probably got a little less pigment than the lip veil in the Chantecaille, but it's shinier. So I think if you're looking for something that looks a little bit more like a gloss, this is your way to go. Okay, next is a shade that I'm not sure you guys can get. And I hate to include this because I know if you can't go out and buy it, it might be a little frustrating. So I'm actually doing 6 lipsticks because I feel like this one doesn't really count because you probably can't get it, but I have to mention it. So this is the Gucci lipstick. I'm just trying to remember the full name. It's the Girl from Paris. It's a beautiful, like burnt orange shade. It's a cream lipstick. I'll put it on for you guys. Now, I usually use the shade with the Sisley chocolate liner. It actually makes it a little bit more brown, but you can see it's a really like pumpkin-y, orangey, burnt kind of shade. I think it's stunning and I love it. If you can find it, if you can pick it up, it was limited edition. If you love like the orange, brownish orange, warm shades, I would definitely say pick it up. The formula is gorgeous. The Gucci formula is beautiful, the cream shades. The shears formula in the Gucci is beautiful as well, but I really like the creams. And this shade is one of my favorites. And to me, it screams fall. I mean, it literally looks like a pumpkin to me. So if you can find it, I would certainly recommend it. Okay, so the fourth one, but really the third one, because like I said, the Gucci to me is kind of like an extra, it's like a exception since I don't think you guys can get it, is the Sisley number 33. This is the Lafito Rouge lipstick. And I've mentioned this before. It's a really pretty, it's a thick, creamy lipstick. And at the end, I'll show you all the shades next to each other. I just wanted to do them separately really quickly. It's kind of like, I would say it's a little bit more of a red. It has sort of a rougey brown shade. It's not as orange as the Gucci. You'll see them all together at the end, but I think it looks really good on pretty much anyone because it works well on pale skin, as you'll see, but it's also got enough pigment on a deeper skin tone. There we go. I have to say, I don't talk a lot about Sisley makeup. I talk a little bit about the foundation and the powder, but I really do love their lipstick formula. It's really creamy and hydrating. It feels great on. It gives really good coverage really, really quickly. I mean, I don't have a lip liner on. It lasts, it's smooth. I will say all of these so far will transfer to a mask. None of these are liquid lipsticks or the product that I'm gonna show you at the end. You already know what it's gonna be, but they will transfer. So these, if you're wearing a mask, I don't recommend any of these because it's gonna transfer. But if you're doing a Zoom call or if you're somewhere with people who you don't have to wear a mask with, I think this formula is really lovely. And this shade is like one of my favorites. I've had this one, I don't even know how many years. If they ever discontinue it, I will buy like their entire stock because it's one of my favorite shades. Okay, number 4, or technically, well, it's number 5 in the ones that I've showed you, but number 4, because like I said, Gucci is an exception. This is the Christian Louboutin lipstick in shade 720, and I'll have the information like I've had for all of these down below. I don't talk about the Louboutins very often because I really do like them, and I do like the formula for the gloss and the metallics and for the creams, but they're incredibly expensive. Now, I'm sure you're all laughing right now because you know how much I spent on makeup. And Sisley's not inexpensive, Chantecaille's not inexpensive, Gucci's certainly not inexpensive. I have Hermes lipsticks, which I love, which definitely are not inexpensive. And Chanel and Tom Ford. But these are even more than that. And part of it's because of the packaging, and part of it's because it's the Louboutin name. So I feel like for the expense that you're talking about, I don't think the formula or the shades are that much better than the Chanel, the Tom Fords, or Charlotte Tilbury's, or et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I don't talk about them a lot, but I will say this one particular shade is a favorite. And for this time of year, for fall, I had to include it. It's just such a pretty, I mean, it's so pretty. It's like a burnt sugar, again, very similar to some of the other shades, and I'll show you them all next to each other at the end. It's a little deeper and a little bit more pigmented, but similar shade to the tamarind and to the bubble rum. I just love it. And I will say, like I said, the formula on this one is good. It's not like it's a bad formula. It's actually very creamy and long lasting. What I would say is there are other brands, luxury brands, that do just as good a job or better at a lower price point. And it's not that I don't really enjoy the Louboutins, I do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against spending a lot of money on makeup if I love something. I just feel like I'm not gonna spend extra money just to spend extra money. Okay, last one, and you knew I was gonna have to include these given the current circumstances that we find ourselves in. This is the Chanel Ultra Tenue lipstick, and these do not come off. I will link my video that I did with these above. Literally, guys, you can wear these under masks once they're dried down. They're not gonna come off, they last forever. I was gonna do a gloss, but I feel like the Fenty Bubble Rum is glossy enough that you can consider it a gloss. If you're interested in a fall gloss, I would say the Chanel Burnt Sugar is my favorite. And you've seen that in a video that I did not that long ago. It's a gorgeous shade, but I felt like that was too far outside since we did say lipsticks. Although maybe I could have put it in. Anyway, if you're looking for a gloss, Chanel Burnt Sugar. It's perfect. All right, so this is a relatively new shade. This is, and I'm starting to need glasses, I think, guys. This is Burning Red, and this is a shade that I picked up at the end of August before I went on my no-buy, but I think you'll agree it's perfect for the fall. Okay, so there's the shade. I really do love the shade. I'm definitely gonna pick up more reds. This is the first red that I've ever had in this formula. And so you just sort of let it sit. And now if you're not familiar with the Chanel Tenues, the gist is basically this. You put this color on, whatever shade you've picked, and then you sort of let it dry down. And the way you'll know that it's dry enough to put the quote gloss on is your lips start to feel dry and a little tight. It almost feels like when you've had like glue on your hand and it starts to dry, or if you have a clay mask and it starts to tighten, that's the feeling. And when it starts to get to that point, you know that it's time to put the gloss on. So the gloss is in this like black part of the product, and that you just take out like this. There's a little brush. And you brush it on. And at first it kind of looks like a gloss and you think to yourself, okay, this is not gonna work because this is gonna transfer on everything. But what happens after a little while, and for me it usually takes about 10 minutes, it might take more or less time depending on how dry your skin is or how much moisture you have in your lips. I don't know, because I've only felt it on me. But it feels, after like 10 minutes, a little less tacky. At first, when you first like put it on, it feels tacky. It feels like your lips are gonna stick together. But then in about 5 to 10 minutes, you don't feel anything. You just feel like practically like nothing's on your lips. And then it starts to feel like just that you have almost like, I can't really explain it. It feels like there's something there, but it's not tacky, it's not sticky, it's not drying. And then you just wear it for the rest of the day. And it will dissipate in color. You know, over time it does get like lighter, but it never transfers on anything. I will say that if you do bite at your lips, yes, it's gonna come off. Because I know some people do that, but other than that, you're gonna be fine. And I did a demonstration when I did the video, which I put up, which I'll put up, that basically this stuff does not transfer. You can take a towel and put it over it, and you know it's not gonna transfer on. So it's not gonna transfer on a mask. Don't do it immediately though. Like I've just put this on. I wouldn't put a mask on right the second. I'd wait a little bit and then I would put the mask on, because the gloss that you put over it does take a little while to not be tacky anymore. it doesn't happen immediately. So just keep that in mind. Again, it does depend on the person. For me, it dries pretty fast, becomes permanent pretty quickly. But on other people, I have seen it take a little bit longer. I'm assuming it has something to do with the moisture in their skin, which I don't seem to have any of. So everything goes dry very quickly. But you know, I have very dry skin and I never have issues with it. It doesn't irritate my skin. My lips don't peel the next day, nothing like that. So it's great. All right, so let me show you, as I promised, the shades next to each other so you can see what I'm talking about. They're similar, but they're not exactly the same. All right, so this is the Tamarind by Chantecaille, which again is a lip veil. It's pretty light. This is the Bubble Rum by Fenty, the Slip Shiny something that I never actually get right. You can see it's a little bit browner in shade and shinier. This is the Gucci Girl from Paris. Definitely more of an orange shade, and if you can find it, it really is beautiful, guys. I don't know. It was a limited edition exclusive, and I don't know if it's available anymore. This is the Sisley 33, which is definitely available and has been for quite some time. This is the Louboutin 720. And I'll hold my arm up in a second, guys. I'm just trying to do this at the same time. And then this, of course, is the Chanel Burning Red. So this is the Chantecaille Tamarind. This is the Fenty Bubble Rum. This is the Gucci Girl from Paris. This is the Sisley 33. This is the Louboutin 720. And this is the Chanel Burning Red. You can see there's definitely similarities between all of these shades, but I think they're great for fall. They definitely have more of a deeper, richer shade. They have that sort of brownish, orangish, burnt kind of a look. These two are the lightest in texture. This one's, the Fenty's a little shinier. The lip veil is a little creamier. This, of course, is the long lasting and will not come off on a mask. And because I've basically already cheated anyway, I will show you the Chanel Gloss in Burnt Sugar, the 724. That's the Burnt Sugar. It's a really pretty shade, perfect for fall. So this is my top 5, even though there's 7. Jennifer's gonna kill me, but anyway. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you discovered some new fall favorites. If you've come over from Jennifer's channel from Justglowfirefly, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you are not familiar with her channel, please go over and check her out and consider subscribing. She really is fantastic. She does a lot of content over on Instagram as well and has an amazing account over there. And we share very similar tastes, so it'll be really interesting to see which shade she picks. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in another video really soon. Bye.